So, welcome back to another Davis Dimension video where I just be ranting about whatever I want, when I want, how I want, just how vlog's supposed to work. Feel me? That's what I do. And if you've already been here, welcome back. If you're new, then welcome. Listen to me talk about life or my life or life as I see it. Whatever. Same difference. Earlier, I made a little funny video on TikTok about people with guns and fighting. And it pisses me off when people use weapons and fighting and they just fight unfair, but that's the world we live in right now in America, where people don't know how to scrap. They just use weapons. It is what it is. But go watch that. It's pretty funny. Here's a picture of it. See it? Now you see it? Now you don't. All right. Check it out. So I was on social media break in May, and I ended up getting on Quora. I say Quora, but I found out it's pronounced Quora. I looked it up because I was just wondering, like, is this how you say it? And I heard Jordan Peterson say it in his book, Rules for Life or whatever, blah, blah, blah. And he said it, and I was like, is that how you say it? I guess so. But anyways, Quora is a social media that, you upvote and you downvote. It's just like liking and disliking or whatever, comment and sharing, just like usual. I shouldn't even been on there because I was on social media break, but I just fell into it, and I was like, this website pretty cool. Why? Because you discuss stuff on there. Like, it's just questions and answers. Like, there's no people posting pictures. There's no videos. There's no memes. I mean, there's a few memes, but there's no jokes. Like, I'm a pretty serious person. If you know me, then those people who know me, you know me. But people who don't know me at all, and it's your first time or whatever, like, as you watch my videos, you can tell I'm a serious person. I don't really, like, stuff is funny, but, like, I'm not a joker or joking person that often. Like, I just like to think and be in my space, very stoic, very quiet, like introvert type, whatever. That's me. So being on here, as I start being on here for the past like 3 months now, well, 2 months technically, but whatever. It just feels cool to be on there, like just to have answers and questions and give my answer and response. And people reply to you, they upvote your answer. You can see how many views, like a person looks at you, how many people viewed your question or viewed your answer or whatever. And it's just cool. Like, it just felt like a vent space. And I know you could easily just post stuff on Facebook or Instagram, but it's like social media has changed. Like, and if you don't have like a big following, people not really going to interact with you. Or if you don't interact with people the way they want you to, they're not going to interact with you back. So this is a place where if you're a person like me and you like discussions, you just like discussing random topics and whatnot, you can go on there and talk and communicate and just, interact with people on social media like it's supposed to be, with no extra BS in between. Like, now social media is about image. It used to be just about identifying with stuff and, meeting people and just talking about stuff. Like, that's how it used to work. But it still does it, but it's not the same. So that's enough on the intro. The question is, how do I teach myself how to fight? And can I teach myself how to fight, right? This is the longest answer that I put on there so far. By far, really, for now. Because I feel really passionate about fighting. Like, fighting is, something I've been doing since I was young. In my head, I'm always visualizing fighting. I got in a lot of fights in elementary school, middle school. Like, I'm into martial arts. I'm into fighting philosophies and mindsets and things like that. That's just me. So I follow this thread that's about fighting and martial arts. Guy post this. My answer is, you cannot, it's like you can teach yourself how to fight. And I know there's not no correct, true answer, but I just felt like when I was making this, I was like, I'm going to make a video about this too. Because I was like, damn, I'm going in on this post. I should make a video. So I made this video, and here we are. But, no, you can't teach yourself how to fight. Like, and the reason why I say that is because and I'm saying this from personal experience. And I know some people, when you talk about stuff, I get that point of like, take your feelings out of it, stop taking it personally, but there are things in life where if you can't speak on it because you actually dealt with it and went through it, experienced the ups and downs, that matters more. But in certain situations, yeah, you need to learn how to talk about stuff as if it wasn't you, as if you weren't there, and stop trying to put it into perspective. There are times where you just need to do that and take your feelings out of it. But this is not one of them things for me. And I started off with karate, okay, and in a summer camp in New Jersey that I used to go to when I was younger, right? And I didn't go there like so much. So I just learned like the basics, basic stance, this, and that. And then I just carried on with that. And I knew that stuff, right? But I every time I got in a fight in middle school and elementary and whatnot, I never recalled none of it because I wasn't doing it enough. Like I was just doing it by myself. Of course, when I learned it, I would do it at home, practice it outside, go to the park, punch the poles, punch the trees, kick, do all that stuff and practice it like I mean it. But when you get into a fight, you're not going to recall the information unless you really get into more fights and you actually use it. Or in my case, you have to spar. You have to do matches. You have to actually go against people to say that you know how to fight. That's my real definition of fighting. People out here always say, "Oh, I can fight." And you don't know a person's past. You don't know how much a person's fight. But people are so delusional that they think just because they won a few fights in middle school and even in high school or whatever, they think they know how to fight. Now, for the people who really rumbled, they've been jumped and they fought their way out of it, whether they won or they lost, they survived, or they actually been in multiple fights with people and actually beat people up. Good for you. But one thing we don't understand, or some people don't understand, is that when you talk about your skills, you talk about your skills based off of how you feel about them and how you think you performed in that fight. But in reality, you didn't really do much. You don't really know how to fight. You don't know what you're doing. Most people just go till they can't go no more, till they win, till they lose, or till somebody breaks it up. And you just swinging and punching and kicking. But you don't have a science down. You don't have a discipline down. You're not really like processing what it is you're trying to do. Like most of the time, I know from experience, and if you've ever been in a fight, you're a fighter too, then you know that, sometimes you just go into autopilot and you just be doing shit and then you black out. And then when you're done, you think about what you did in the fight, or you don't even know what you did till somebody tell you what you did in the fight. I've been in that situation multiple times, but only until I was in high school and I started wrestling and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, learning the basics of that, I was like starting to become more conscious about what I did in fights back in the day and the fights that I did get after I started wrestling jiu-jitsu. Then I started to really sit down and think about, all right, what if I do this, a person could do this. If I do, like, you actually strategically lay out your fight, right? And to me, that's knowing how to fight. Is actually knowing steps. You have discipline. You have a scenario in your head. Even if you get thrown in a random scenario, you have muscle memory and you have the response to realize where you are and what you're doing. Half the time, I know just as well as I know, when people be fighting, right? You be seeing people tripping and sliding and throwing wild ass punches and be spinning and be all over the place when they fight because they don't know what they're doing. And these be the same people who act like they do, but they don't, right? So for me, I got in one fight in ninth grade, around like ninth grade, outside of school. It wasn't that long after ninth grade started. It wasn't with somebody that went to my school, somebody from my middle school. And in that fight, I just started wrestling. I just started jiu-jitsu, all that. Well, not even jiu-jitsu yet. I was just only doing wrestling. And I got into a fight, and it wasn't really much of a fight because I didn't really fight him back because, one, it wasn't worth it. And two, I couldn't recall, I wasn't confident enough to do the moves that I thought I knew. And I didn't teach myself wrestling. I'm going to practice and I'm wrestling with a team. But even far as the martial arts stuff that I knew, I wasn't even confident enough to think that it was going to work because I never did it in a fight in the first place. So what I'm getting at here, if you ain't get it a little bit earlier, what I'm getting at is if, again, you can't recall the information, you can't strategically do these moves, you can't automatically do these moves, you don't know how to fight. You don't. You're just doing whatever happens and just hope you get lucky. People be acting like, oh yeah, I beat him up. Oh yeah, I effed her up. Y'all say that, but y'all didn't really know that you was going to do that. Some of y'all get lucky in y'all fights or have gotten lucky and y'all think y'all really pulled it off. Y'all didn't. No, y'all didn't think about it, right? So then I got in a fight in 11th grade. Only fight I ever got in high school. Wasn't much of a fight really, but he punched me a few times. We tussling all over the place. I'm trying to get a good position. And once this dude grabbed me, because he's one of them dudes who I can box, blah, 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 right? In my head, my rules till this day is this, and I know this because I've done it, is if a person can't knock me out and they first couple hits on me, they're not going to beat me. I know that sounds very confident and very cocky and shit like that. I ain't trying to come off like that, but I know for a fact, if a person don't get rid of me and they in the first couple minutes, they're not going to beat me. Because one, I run, I work out, I train, I practice, and most people don't even do that. Yeah, you can run off an extra adrenaline and stuff like that, but if you don't have the reserves to keep a continued fight, actually using all your strength, all your speed, all your mind, if you don't do that often and you don't train that, you can't win. You can't win. You can't. Most people can't because they don't got the distance. They can't go the distance. We know that. So, in that fight, I just broke free of this dumbass headlock dude had me in, twisted his hand off, took him down, went in on him, took a shot, as we call it in wrestling. That's just going for a takedown. Picked him up, slammed him, put him down, got on top of him like I was about to do some jiu-jitsu, because this is 11th grade. At this time, I'm doing like 3 years somewhat worth of, loose jiu-jitsu, like not super disciplined, but loose jiu-jitsu basics. So I know, and in this time, I was ready to get on top of him. And if I really wanted to, I could have armbarred this dude. I could have triangle choked this. I could have did so many moves on this dude at this time, but I chose not to. So I just held him there until the security came, and I just got up. Yeah, and that's enough for that. And then recently in my life, I got into an incident with somebody at a job I was working at doing security, and he stabbed me, right? And in that situation, right, I was against the wall, and I'll tell that whole story in a different video, but I was against the wall. I didn't have much space. Doors was closed, and once I noticed that he had a weapon and he was threatening me, right, I just realized, like, damn, I'm gonna have to turn my back, or I'm gonna have to like shuffle to the door or something if I want to get away. And dude's like an arm's length away from me. So to me, I started thinking in my head, the moment I seen this, I was like, all right, he's taller than me. He got good reach. He's going to do this, this, and that. What could I do? So if he swings like this, in my head, I'm running these scenarios in my head. And don't get me wrong. I'm nervous. I'm scared. I didn't know if he had a gun. I didn't know if he had a knife. Later, I realized he had a knife. But I'm thinking to myself, like, yo, all right, what's my steps that I'm going to do? Right? And you don't get time. Realistically, I only had this was only like a 2-minute, and it was a longer minute, but the fighting phase was only like 2 minutes long. And in them 2 minutes, it felt like forever, because to me, it felt like I slowed down time, and as he's talking shit and I'm responding to him, I'm still thinking to myself, like, all right, if he does this move, I'm gonna do this. If he do this, I'm gonna do that. And yeah, it's easy to do that and think you can do it. But to me, I know my openings, because I've been wrestling for 10 years now. I'm 10-year wrestling vet. I coach, I wrestle hard, I was good at it, I was great. I wasn't good, I was great, right? I wasn't outstanding, but I was great. And I know my angles. So I know from experience. And I told you in high school I got in a fight with somebody. And I did this on somebody who was trying to really fight me, right? We're not playing, right? I get my angle, I get my spot. I know where I'm at. I know I'm going to get it. I know I'm taking them down. I know. And I know that it's not going to be easy all the time, because some people are going to be heavier. They're going to be taller. They're going to have long legs. They're going to have long arms. But I'm going to tell you something that we say in wrestling, and honestly in anything. When it's there, it's there. And from my experience, when I get that arm and I get that leg, or I get your head, or I get something, you're done. You're done. Because if you don't know how to stop me, you're done. You're done. Unless you don't pull out a weapon and stab me or some nut shit, you're done. Simple as that. So what I'm saying, and my answer to that question is, you can't teach yourself how to fight. And my answer on that website is, you have to work with other people. You have to spar. You have to put so much time in, because when I was training myself with my little karate and my little, little taekwondo and my little loose capoeira, and just taking the little basics and copying stuff and going to little gyms and just seeing little tricks here and there and putting them together for me, I still didn't do them in person. So every time I had a chance to actually fight somebody and do it, it didn't work. It didn't come out. But when I was really doing wrestling and jiu-jitsu, right, as I start having issues with people in school and people try to act like they want to fight me, I'm already snapping, like, all right, if this dude do this, this, and that, I'm gonna get on the ground, I'm gonna do this, this, and that. If I got space, I'm hitting this joint. I'm playing it. And I knew it. And then I actually did it twice now in my life. So I know. And the last dude had a weapon on me, but I still knew I could do it. And I actually did it. I know I can fight. Now I know I can fight. And fighting don't mean boxing and all that, because people be in school, people were so sure and so confident that boxing is just, oh, I can fight her, I got hands. No, no, this is a world of technique. This is a world of discipline. This is a world of mystery. This is a world of tricks and things that nobody knows about. Okay? So you don't know what a person knows. And that's for them to you, and that's you to them. You don't know what they know. They don't know what you know. But I can tell you this much. If you practice hard and you have some situations that you ever got in and you know you handled it well, then you know how to fight. But you can't say you know how to fight. And I don't know if the person who posted this question on Quora was like a rookie or something, or he's just learning martial arts or something like that. I guess so. Yeah, you can teach yourself stuff. Yeah, you can get in shape. Yeah, you can, do tricks, and you hit hard. You feel like you hit hard, but you feeling like you hit hard and actually hitting hard and knowing where and how to hit is two different things. Like, I'm doing kickboxing now. I didn't realize how much my wrist was weak because I haven't punched no bags in like a long time. I'm always punching on air and shadow boxing. But you gotta hit bags. You gotta hit people. You gotta hit pads. And I'm realizing, like, damn, my wrist's a little sore. And I know it's because I haven't been punching nothing and whatnot. I've been focusing on wrestling and grappling. So that right there shows you that you need to practice. And there's no better way to get better than to spar with people live, as we call it, wrestling live. You say rolling, right? There's no better way to do it. That's the only way you're going to be able to fight. And yes, at the end of the day, you really got to have confidence that you can do this shit. Because if you doubt that you can't beat a person, if you pause for 1 second and you think, I can't beat him, he too big, he too tall, like whatever, he too fast. The moment you start slipping and thinking that, you are losing. You are losing. And I'm going to leave it at that. So this is a good 18 minutes. I think this is the longest video I've done in a while for a rant. But if you made it this far, thanks. If you think you can fight, let me know. If you think you can't fight, hey, drop it in the comments. Whatnot, share the video, like it, and study up. Because you never know when you're going to get in a fight. You never know when you're going to need a quick reaction. Most people wouldn't get robbed or wouldn't get assaulted and get jumped so bad, at least, if they knew a little something. And because people don't know anything, and I'll make a further deeper video about that, but because people don't know stuff, this is why people get hurt. This is why people don't even help other people, because you want to help, but you don't even know how you're going to stop this person from doing what they're doing, right? So, like I said, I'm done there. Like, comment, share, check out more videos. I made a recent video about why I joined the Army, so check that out. I appreciate it.